Happy end of December. Just wanted to chime in here and talk a few minutes about that credit card debt you probably incurred in the last several weeks. I know Christmas is magical and we all want to go out and spend money we don't have. Buy that big screen TV and, make the kids magical Christmas. I get that. I have two kids myself. But what I want to talk to you about is the damage that's been done to your credit through this magical season. Remember back in elementary school, there was a teeter totter out on the playground. This is a lot like your credit cards. There's something called credit utilization. Your credit cards have to be below 30% at all times. If you're high on your utilization, you're low on your FICO score. If you're low on your utilization, you're high on your FICO score. This is one indicator that's totally in your hands. The credit card piece is worth 30%. It's actually here hurts you or helps you in several different ways. Let's say you're trying to or you get a car payment made in time. You're trying to do the right things, but you're maxed out on your credit cards. Let's just say you're supposed to get 20 points for making that car payment on time. The first thing they do is look at your credit cards. If they're maxed out or over 30%, you may not get that 20%. Maybe you only get 10%. That's used whether you have an established file or you're kind of new to credit. The ideal scenario, I used to use call this the gas scenario, but gas, worked its way up. So we're calling this the candy bar game. Um, the best thing you can do, and I know nobody in America is going to do this, but the best thing you can do mathematically is go out once a month, get a candy bar. What are they, $3 and something? And wait until it shows up on your statement and then pay it off. You may already have seen this on some of my previous things, but you were probably taught as you were being raised to pay the bill on the due date. But this is the way this works. Each of your credit card statements have a thing at the top of the statement that says from this date to this date. Let's just use December, from December 1st to December 31st. That second date is the date that goes to the picture that goes to the credit bureaus. So it's okay. I know entrepreneurs tend to use their credit cards more. Everybody says, "Why did I get a credit card if I can't use it?" I get that. You just have to be responsible with the credit card. The average American thinks they get a $500 card and that they've got $500. You don't have $500. You still have zero. That's for emergency purposes. That's for going on vacation when you know you got a paycheck coming on Friday. Um, you want to so each of your cards, even if you don't know that date, maybe you need to spend some time and um, call each of your credit card people and ask them when is the cutoff date. But if you look at your statement at the top, it's from this date to this date. That second date's the picture goes to the credit bureaus. So let's say mid-month, your tires blow and you gotta go buy tires. That's okay. What's tires these days? A couple $100 a piece. Maybe you're going to send 600 or 700 bucks. They give you a free tire. That's okay, but also know that next paycheck you got to put on your credit cards. So I want you to get all your goals. There's no reason in the world to use excuses. I have blogs out there that say stop telling that story. You ever go to the family reunion and there's always one or two people that have an excuse and it's the same excuse every year. They come driving in that old clunker. is smoking. You ask them, hey, you still got that old car? Yeah, I can't get another one because I got bad credit. Yeah, your cousin sleeping on Harry's couch all the time. Hey cousin, did you get a new apartment? No, I'm still sleeping on Harry's couch. I still got bad credit. Um, maybe they don't drive, and they tell you, well, I can't afford the insurance. Insurance is so expensive. It is kind of expensive, especially in Florida. But if you got bad credit, you're going to pay even more. What's the second question they ask you? Hi, what's your name? What's your social security number? It's all about credit, whether you can drive or not. I'm a driver's ed instructor. My dad was a driver's ed instructor back in the day, 100 years ago when I learned how to drive. Um, so it has nothing to do with how good a driver you are. It does, but not as much as your credit. So stop telling that story to grandma and the cousins and the uncle because they're laughing at you behind your back after the reunion. They're going home, going, "Hey, cousin Harry, still telling that credit story." If you have bad credit, you have bad credit because you want bad credit. I'm starting my 17th year in a credit repair, and there are things you can do to improve your credit. You don't have to wait 7 to 10 years. Credit repair is a valid process. I would not recommend 99% of the companies out there because they're doing a membership and they're ripping the public off. But there are still good credit repair companies out there, and I'm one of them. I spend a couple hours working on your credit report. I send a 5 to 6 page report off to the bureaus. I give them 45 days to do the research. We did that process 3 different times. Um, it's a process we can't lose out. I feel my job is credit repair, credit building, and I give you a lot of financial literacy. Having this many years in the industry, I have a tremendous amount of education I can give you. You could be the top of the uh, credit hill, king of the hill, and I don't just want to work with you for those 3 rounds of credit repair. I want to be a great resource to you for many years, years ahead. So if you have bad credit, you have bad credit because you want bad credit. I haven't barely raised my prices. In 17 years, it's about $50 higher. So I have 3 plans. I could make it affordable. If you're choosing not to do credit repair, you're choosing to have a bad life, and your family may be talking about you behind your back also. They deserve a better life. You're trying to get a house. You're saying, well, I got bad credit, or oh, I can't. Right now, you can't do anything. You can't get an apartment because of bad credit. The apartment complexes are looking at, um, you walk in, you've got a 650 or 620, and they know there's 700 people walking right behind you. It's easier to get you in an apartment than a house, and or get you in a house. I said that backwards. Easier to get you in a house than an apartment. So no matter what your excuse is, no matter I don't know, people have a conflict for paying somebody for services. Um, they'll pay, Netflix fees. They'll pay, AT&T keeps going up, or all the cell phones keep going up on the fees, and half the time you don't have a signal. But they won't spend just a little bit of money to improve your credit, improve your family's future. Your wife deserves it. Your spouse deserves it. Your kids deserve it. They're getting sick of sleeping in bunk beds, and they'd like a yard to play in. They'd like to go to a better school. Suck up your ego and call me, and don't use excuses. I I love Christmas time because back home it's snowing and it's magical. And as a kid, it was magical. But people use excuses. Oh, I'll call you after Christmas. Oh, I'll call you after New Year's. Well, just so you know, they give me the same excuses for Halloween. I'll give you a call after Halloween. I guess they're thinking they got to spend money on candy for the trick or treaters and not fix their credit. So, that speech may sound good to me and or to you and your spouse or whatever, but no, I see right through it. I love you to death. I'm giving you some tough love. Those are all excuses. I don't care what date today is. What is it? The 26th, or no, it's 27th. And the first of the year, that's when everybody does their New Year's resolutions. So now's a perfect time to call. Let's get your documents in order, get you ready to get started. I have a million ways you can finance credit repair. So finance is the least of your worries. It's a process that I can't lose at. So, if you're whatever you're afraid of, maybe you got ripped off in the past by another company. I'm sure you got ripped off from another company because, quite honestly, there's 98% of them out there ripping people off with a membership. I You don't see me a lot on Facebook because honestly, I'm competing against rip off people. And I'm sorry if that bruises your ego, but it is. Anybody doing a membership is ripping people off. These people that are doing is MLM, and I love MLMs, but they're not doing real credit repair. They know nothing about the credit laws. You can go buy a packet of letters if you want for $50, but keep in mind the bureaus have seen those letters a million times. Um, you should only be doing real credit repair, real old-fashioned credit repair. I'll give you a hint. If you call a company and they start talking about $100 a month, my next question would be, how many accounts are you working on a month for that? Do you send the same letter for me and the guy next to you? Those are valid questions, and most of them won't answer. So I don't even care if you call me and have a 15-minute conversation and you don't hire me. I'd rather educate you so at least you don't get ripped off. Sadly, um, I'm a very wordy person, and so if somebody calls me, I want to know about their goals. I want to tell them about the program. I want to explain to them the difference in credit repair. But there are times, sadly, I was taught a lesson the first week I did credit repair that you can't be everybody's credit repair guy, and you can't win everybody. I wish I could, but I can't. And sadly, I have to watch people get. Sometimes people just want to get ripped off, and I talk to them, I educate them. They go, "Well, I'll call you back," and then they don't return my call for 2, 3 weeks or whatever. Maybe they message me back and say, "Oh, we went with the other guy." I already know what's. Sadly, and you're going to find this very comical. Um, People are afraid that I'm going to force them into having bad credit. I have people that I'll have a nice conversation with them. They're wonderful to get to know, and in my heart, I'm thinking they're ready to go. They're ready to work on their credit, but I can never reach them back. After a couple weeks of trying to reach them, I discover they blocked me. I guess they're either scared of having good credit. They're scared of. I don't think they're scared of me because I'm a pretty nice guy. But I sometimes wish their wife or husband, they're going, whatever happened to that guy you talked to the other day or a couple weeks ago? No, I hung up on him and I blocked him. I'll never understand that mindset. I guess that's the way the world operates, but um, I don't. I'm a nice guy. You'll enjoy talking to me. You'll learn a lot whether you sign up or not. There is no magical word, no magical bullet in credit repair. My job in talking to you is to educate you on what's out there. If you make a valid choice and sign up with me, I'll take good care of you and truly take ownership in your goals. Sadly, what really happens is sometimes people They don't listen to half of what I tell them, and they go, "No, I'm gonna go another route." And they'll call me 6 months, a year later. The reason I know because I don't delete a number. I'll look up their number and it'll show me that we talked a year ago. A lady the other day has called me 3 times in the last 3 years. Different excuse, different. We're trying to buy a house, we're trying to get a car. I never tell her that we've talked 3 different times. I'd love to go to her house, knock on the door, and give her a big hug and say, I'm the guy that's been trying to help you for 3 years. Stop struggling and sign the paper. I used to have a little. I can't find it anymore. I used to have a comic. I'll wrap up with this because I've taken up a lot of your time. I used to have a comic. I don't know if it was a blog entry or something I put out on regarding credit repair once a year, and it was always but long before I had DocuSign to sign the paper, I'd have to send them a PDF, and man, there was times when you had to make. There was some people had computers, some people didn't. Some people had printers, some didn't. Some didn't know how to do a PDF. So we've gone through a lot of transitioning through the years. Now a lot of people don't have computers; they have a phone, and and that'll soon go away too. But um, I used to send out it's meant to be a funny, hey, Mr. Jones, and would you please sign that paper and get your documents back? I only asked for a couple of documents to get started. And, and then I'd tell them, um, I know you meant to sign the paper and you have good intentions, but you're busy watching that football game and you're mowing the yard. And, your kids and your wife want me to get you to sign that paper because they want to move. They want to have their own bedroom. They want to have swing set out back. And then I come back on and I say, well, the wife's car broke down. She knows you have good intentions to sign that paper and turn in those 2 or 3 documents to get started. But she's tired of taking the bus. She hitches a ride with her friend Sally, and to get back and forth to work or to go to the store or whatever. Because she knows you're a good guy. Go ahead and stay on the couch. That's okay. I got you covered. And then I come back and I say, um, well, I know you got a good intentions to fill out that paper and turn those 3 documents in. Your family does it too. They love you to death. I found the great house that you're wanting. The wife is already down there planting flowers. The kids are playing in the backyard at the beautiful swing set. The dog's got a nice little hut out back to play in, and everybody's happy. We've met the neighbors, and the wife's got a new car. All I got to do is get you to sign that paper. But take your time, finish watching the football game because the wife and the kids are down the street enjoying that dream life that you've always talked about. And they know you're going to get up off the couch any day now and sign that paper. What my point is stop being lazy when there's help out there. I love you to death. This is tough love. I love you to death. I want you and your family to get. I quite honestly want more for you than you and your family want for you. I get great enjoyment for you to get your goals. I get people send me pictures of their motorcycle and stuff. I'm like a Santa Claus year round. I make dreams happen. Dreams are meant to come true, and all it takes is a little action. 2026 is right around the corner. I really thought 2025 was the magical year, but I really think that's a building year, and many people have improved their credit. We've been busier this year than many years in the past, and 2026 is going to be our year. Whether you want to, this is not political, but whether you want to believe it or not, the economy is in much better shape. The prices are in much better shape. We went through 3 or 4 years of 30% increase on everything. Nobody got a raise, and your rent and everything else went up. Prices are still too high. It's rough to live in some areas of America. But you got to have three things to do anything in this world. You got to have God, you got to have a great job, you got to have great credit. So make today the day you get off that couch, do some things for you and your family. They deserve it. They deserve everything you'll do for them. You already work 80 hours a week. Get the credit fixed too so you can have all your dreams come true. My name's John Bach with Elite Credit Solutions. We're open 7 days a week till midnight. You can reach me at 813-317-6776. I'm ready to take your call and begin working hard for you and your family. 813-317-6776. We'll talk to you soon.